Hi, I'm Faith Goff.
And I'm Gianna Sandy.
And we're so excited to share our community awareness project with you.
EP Green Team. So our green team is something that me and my partner started in 2019 to 2020 school year, a couple months before Corona hit. And we just tried to use our resources with our staff and our different students and different parents to try to really get the club going through fundraisers. And our goal here is we just wanted to keep the school cleaner and the environment around the school just as clean as we possibly could. We raised money for our
Recycling
club
cans.
through different fundraisers, and we wanted to expand our project in the future by planting trees and beautifying the school just in general through but we were unable to do that due to corona, but we hope to do that in the next school year.
So, recycling is the process of conserving and converting recyclable materials into new ones. It helps the environment as a whole. In the next slide, we get to see what it benefits. And we wanted to incorporate that into our school environment and for students to have an easily access the way to recycle.
So a couple of things that we looked at when we wanted to go into our recycling program was that we really wanted to help the air pollution overall, and we have this greenhouse thing at our school that is run by FFA, and we really just wanted to help out with that and just pick up stuff around the school. And we just felt that recycling is needed at our school because there's just there's a lot of animal risks that happen in general. And even though our school isn't necessarily a nature area, there is still woods around us and still animals around us. And we just felt overall for Earth in general, it not recycling just caused more water pollution and more landfills and just a waste of our resources that we have.
So throughout our school, a lot of students use plastic bottles that they get in the vending machines in the cafeteria or they bring from home, and they just throw them in the trash can. And if you looked, like they were overfilled and piled in the trash cans. So we wanted to incorporate this because recycling is not only easy for anyone to do. You could just throw it out in one of the cans on your way to your next period, as well as it will essentially be benefiting the environment as a whole and helping to keep our school clean as well.
So organizing and planning is something that we have worked on and continue to work on through this whole process during Corona and even before Corona, just trying to get everything set up and organized. And we had to worry about transportation and we had to worry about a whole bunch of different things that just went into making this happen. So one of the things that we did when we were trying to make this happen is we made sure to communicate between each of the partners and between all the teachers and all the staff and just everyone helping us out at a school, and especially our principal, who's a really big help in just making this happen and encouraging us to do our best and just organize it and just get everything where it needs to be. So every week, me and my partner had meetings with each other, and we would talk on a daily about everything. But we made sure that every week we had a sit down meeting and talked about what needed to happen this week and what needed to happen the next weeks in the future, what we actually got done, updates. And then we also made sure that monthly we were able to talk to at least one of our teachers, our student government teacher, our counselors, our principal, and just make sure that everything that we needed to happen in that month or in the next following months was going to happen on time.
So as for our execution, so like we said before, we wanted to add recycling cans into this school. So to do that, we would have to fund the money for it and raise it. So we started selling these eco-friendly bracelets made out of lava rocks. And we partnered with our school DECA store, and we're able to sell them through the store as well as outside in the hallway when school ends and during lunch. And we would sell these for $3. And the first day we started selling them and got the word out, like you see in this poster here, that we posted around the school and on our social medias, we were able to get they became very popular. And with the money that we raised, we were able to purchase 5 cans that we placed around the school, in the cafeteria, in the hallways, so that everywhere in the school, kids would just be able to put their recyclable items in the cans and move on with their days. It wouldn't be a hassle to anyone, and we would also be able to, like we said before, emphasis on saving the environment.
Now, one of the
But
issues we
we,
had with our execution was that, go ahead.
oh, sorry. So, what like Gianna was saying with our execution, we had a little bit of an issue there. So we would have, like I said before, the recycling cans became very popular with the students, but we needed to figure out how we would get the recycled bags full of recycled items to the landfills or to the recycling centers. So I'll let Gianna continue with that.
So another one of the problems that we had with execution, just to add on to that, is that we needed to find different permits. There was different permits you had for different fundraisers. So we thought about it and we just worked our way into, we incorporated it in the Raider Trader so that we were able to work around the different permits and the different things that we needed for a fundraiser so that it was more effective and we were able to do more immediately. So for transportation, we had a couple issues with that about trying to get it there, and there was just companies that they did not want to work with us, and there was a whole bunch of stuff going on in China about recycling, about there was just big just overall issues, but then more in community issues, our school company that we had a contract with, we were not allowed to they did not have any recycling program for us, which is really unfortunate for Paulding County in general because that's just something that we feel should be throughout the entire county and in other counties, but it's okay. We tried to find a way around it. So one of the ways that we did it was that we found 8 parent and teacher volunteers because we were not allowed to use any student volunteers because that was against school policies. And we created an 8-week schedule that just rotated everyone out. And everyone had a week that they had to bring it. We did it on a Thursday. So me and my partner would stay after school on a Thursday and we'd pack up all the recycling bags, put them in the car. They'd not have to do anything. And they would just take them to the recycling center. We chose to use the Seven Hills one because it was the most communal recycling center around us and just best for everyone. So we made a remind, and for every 8 weeks we would send out a remind every single week to everyone, giving the schedules out, just letting them know, and then individually we'd send out a remind the day before to just let them know, just give them a heads up, just make sure that they're okay with doing it. If not, they can always back out. It's not anything that's just super mandatory. We could find someone else to do it, and we just wanted to remind them the day before, just be like, hey, you're doing this tomorrow, just a little reminder, just be here at 4 and we will pack everything up for you and you could just bring it there.
So as for our evaluating our results, so like we said before, student participation, was amazing. Students filled up our recycling bins and everything. And as you can see here, we have Gianna and her partner in that picture down there. And like she was building on before, we struggled to be able to we struggled managing being able to take the bags to the recycling center or developing a schedule that would deem itself efficient, because even though we had the 8 volunteers, it wasn't necessarily the best. So we didn't necessarily plan for our success. But as you can see here, we definitely did enjoy having this program running, and we think that we would want to continue it in the next slide as well. I'll let her build on this.
So just something that was really cool in the project is that me and my partner, we just really enjoyed doing stuff around the school. So it just made it a lot of fun and it didn't make it feel like a chore doing it every week. It was just something that we were happy to do and enjoyed. So for our results, we are still obviously continuing this program around the school as much as we can during Corona and just trying to get stuff where we can. But for our results for that period of time before March, we after the first week of adding the cans, we had about 8 to 10 bags that were dropped off at the recycling center. So that meant that every day we would go through and just look at the recycling things and bring them to our outdoor bin.
We also learned a lot from this project that we can use in the future when we get back into full-on school to help us have a better go-around than we did last time, even though it was completely awesome. So as for planning, like I mentioned before, do not underplan. We want to plan that in a way and organize a schedule that wouldn't be affected by the amount of participation. So we want to be able to have a schedule that works for if we have a slow week and not that many bags recycled, or if we have a fast week when we have 10 to 15 bags recycled, as well as organizing. We want to communicate with our partners more on a daily basis. Like Gianna said, they did have weekly meetings, but now we want to, since we have a bigger help and student volunteers within the school, be able to have daily basis some form of communication, as well as in fundraising. We didn't necessarily look at the permits that she was saying we needed, and we had to work our ways around that by selling through the school store. Like, so the requirements we have to meet in order to sell the bracelets, as well as having more teachers involved in the logistics. So we did have a sponsor, but our team planned within themselves and then communicated to the sponsor afterwards. So we want to have teachers more involved in that process to ensure that we would be even more successful next go around.
So something that we want to do in the future as much as we possibly can is we really want to have recycling throughout the school. We want to get more cans and just have it at every single corner. So the first thought to everyone is to recycle. And it's just something that's just going to come naturally to everyone. It's just going to be easy because you're just going to think, oh, well, there's a recycling bin right next to the trash can. I'm just going to throw it in there. And obviously not everyone's going to participate in this, but we can only do as much as we can and just try to get our school as involved as we can. So another thing that we want to do continuing is to just hold an annual fundraiser at our school, so we can just make sure we keep getting those funds in, and we keep getting the more recycling bins. The more recycling bins, the better.
So in the future as well, we would like to add a social media campaign to our project so that we can have some type of social presence, because we know in high school, we all have Instagram, Snapchat. So if we can communicate to students that we're doing this and get even more popularity and traffic around this idea, as well as in other schools as well, to help spark some students to make a recycling program in their schools as well, we can help better the community as a whole with this small task like this, and help to protect as well, help to protect our earth so that we can continue to live in it. Thank you so
Overall,
much
we really
for
just want to Overall, we really just want to make this project something that happens in our community all around through all of Paulding County, and something that we can just hopefully inspire people at our school and inspire people in the community and at other schools to just continue on.
and thank you so much for listening to our project and giving us this platform to talk about it. Like we said before, my name is Faye,
My name's Gianna.
and we're from East Paulding High School. And thank you so much. Goodbye.